To get started, you can just drag and drop the PDF into Illustrator and it will give you two artboards with the front and back there, and the template layer is locked, so you'll only be able to do things on the Your Work layer. So first you can type your name by using the type tool and then resize it using, I'm changing the typeface. And then change the typeface to be the size of the box so that your name will fit inside of it. Then using Option to copy my name, I'm placing it now in the black box and changing it to white so it can be seen on the black background. And I'm deleting all of the canned swatches here from Illustrator. Just to get rid of some noise. So now I'm going to go find the chapter of the book I've indicated there. Going to chapter 9 and getting the second paragraph. Copy, and using the type tool again, drawing a box for the type to fit into, and pasting the type in, and reducing the size until it fits inside of the box, changing the weight to thin for preference. And then I'm just adjusting the size and leading until it fits perfectly in the box. And turning off hyphens. So next I'm just drawing a rectangle with the shape tool. Oh no, I'm using the pen tool, sorry. And using shift, I'm creating all straight edges and connecting them. Increasing the stroke size to be more the weight that is on the template. And changing the color to the levels of CMYK that I've indicated in the box. So 74% cyan, 52% magenta, 72% yellow, and 55% black. Okay, using the ellipse tool, I'm going to draw a circle here first, and then select the type tool and just click on the edge of the shape to fill it with type. I'm going to first reduce the leading of the type. You have to click on the edge of the box in order for it to fill. So obviously that's not legible, but this is still considered filling the space with type. I want you to get the idea that you don't have to have a square box with type. So here we're just using the pen tool to trace this object, setting 2 points and adjusting the curves to fit it, and then changing the stroke to 10 point as I've indicated below. And adding the second part of the stroke here and curve. You can use Control. If you hold down Command or Control and then click, it will release you from using the pen tool. It will release you from that object. You can also just select the area or the one of the arrows from the menu, the tools menu. So here I'm just like fine-tuning this to sort of make it fit the lines better by adjusting the curves and points. And then using Option, holding down Option and then clicking on the object will copy it 3 times. And then I'm just going to go in and start tracing this object here with the pen tool. Again, just making a point and then adjusting the curve as I go to try and fit the shape that I've already created here. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna fill the color here and change the stroke to 4 points. I'm opening the practice sheet that I have so I can grab this Lisa Congdon image and drop a color from it. So just copy and paste it from one document to the other. And then I'm going to select the object first, select the fill of that object, use the eyedropper to select a color from the image. Perfect. Next, I'm going to use the rectangle tool to make the mask first, and then adding the image, which was already behind it, selecting both at the same time, right click, and then make clipping mask. If you double click, you can adjust the image and the mask itself. So you're inside of a clip group mode right now to adjust how it's being cropped in that space. So you can see you can make it bigger and smaller, and then it's just filling the frame that the clipping mask that you had made. So I want to see more of the tiger's face here. Okay, next is live tracing, a simple image. So for this, you definitely want to choose something that's simple line work, maybe 15 colors tops. You can choose more complex stuff and it will do fine. It might take longer. So I'm just gonna trace this Lisa Congdon image. It's simple enough. It's got mostly, homogeneous colors, not too complex. And I'm just fitting it inside the box here for ease. So you select the image and then choose image trace. If you just click image trace, it's just going to do 2 colors, black and white. So what you want to do is choose 16 colors or 8 colors, whatever you'd like. But this will give me, it looks very similar here, just the live trace image, and you can see once you expand, you can grab the different pieces of the image. So now everything in here is vector rather than raster. So it's the jump from raster to vector. Okay, using the ellipse tool, I'm just going to make a circle here first, the size of the larger one, adjust it to fit. And then using Option to copy a circle and then fit it inside of the smaller circle here. And then I'm just going to lay these two over one another, so there's one inside of the other, and use the align tools to make them centered. Then finding Pathfinder, I'm going to select this option to make it a donut. So it's empty in the center. Now these are part of one object that you can still adjust. And then using polygon tool here, I'm just creating and adding a stroke instead of a fill. Using Option, click and drag to copy, then selecting all 3 and selecting this homogeneous shape mode. Okay, for a gradient blend, you can use any shape, but here we're going to use a rectangle tool. Create the rectangle, open the gradient palette, select the gradient. What you have there is fine, you can just work with that. So now I have options to move the gradient around, change the color, and here I'm just going to use some of the colors from the Lisa Congdon image again. Just going to copy it and put it closer here so I have an easier access and can see both things at once. So if you select the slider, the gradient slider, and the eyedropper will automatically come up, and you can select colors from the image to fill that spot. And you can add more just by clicking along the slider, and you can move them around, and you can see how it adjusts the gradient for you there. You can just click on it to add a new one, and the eyedropper comes up. And then you can do various things with these sliders to make it fit more what you think. If you move them closer to closer to the colored dot, it will be more um, a less blended transition from one color to another. So just kind of where you want that blend to be. Okay, and that's all we have for this video. That's the whole worksheet. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.